A lovely evening and thank you for joining us. This is Times News. You're with me, Edita Soko. First, the headlines. President Lazarus Chakwera, who is the chairperson of SADC, says Africa is not free for scramble. The Public Affairs Committee to meet President Lazarus Chakwera over governance issues. And drama ensued at the High Court as DPP Secretary General Griselda Jeffrey wept in a defamation case. We have these and other stories. Do stay tuned. And our first news item, President Lazarus Chakwera, who is the chairperson of SADC, says Africa is not free for scramble. Chakwera said this on Tuesday during the inauguration of Zambia's newly elected President Hakainde Hichilema in Lusaka in a speech monitored on Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation. Matthews Kasanda has the details.
Hichilema defeated former President Edgar Lungu in that country's general elections that were held on August 12, 2021. Speaking at the event, Chakwera said the watching world should not be defining Africa, but Africa should define itself. The Malawi leader said the Zambian story is a proof positive that Africa is not an infant to be babysat. He explained that the world should no longer wonder as to what Africa is because the Zambian story displays the truest answer in which the continent is the spirit of unity, finding expression in the will of the Zambian electorate.
This Zambian story is proof positive that Africa is not an infant to be babysat. This Zambian story is proof positive that Africa is not a free-for-all to be scrambled for, hoodwinked, and robbed by the mercenaries of Eastern and Western greed. This Zambian story is proof positive that Africa is not a charity case to be pitied. No.
In his inaugural speech, Hakainde promised to have zero tolerance on corruption and ensure that there is enough food for the country and further create jobs for the youth. Chakwera flew to Zambia on Tuesday and returned the same day.
The Public Affairs Committee, PAC, is expected to meet President Lazarus Chakwera on Wednesday to discuss governance issues. Both PAC and Presidential Advisor on Non-Governmental Organizations have confirmed the meeting. Rebecca Jimjeka has more in this report read by Wezi Gausi.
Presidential Advisor on NGOs Martha Kwataine confirms that PAC is meeting Chakwera on Wednesday. She says it is unfair to allege that Chakwera is not open to PAC because he just met them recently in June.
All I know is that the PAC is sought an audience to meet the head of state, and they've been granted an audience for tomorrow, Wednesday, 25th of August.
The last meeting between the two parties was in Blantyre and focused on COVID-19 vaccines only.
Drama ensued at the High Court in Lilongwe on Tuesday as Democratic Progressive Party DPP Secretary General Griselda Jeffrey wept in court in search for forgiveness from Minister of Sports William Nsungama in a defamation case. Wezi Gausi reports.
Jeffrey was sued for defamation after she told a campaign rally in 2017 that Nsungama raped his cousin. The video clip of the rally was tendered in court as evidence. When it was played, Jeffrey wept bitterly. Tears rolled down her cheeks while getting down on her knees as she further reached to Nsungama's leg in search for forgiveness. Defense lawyer Gilbert Konyongwa says his client would send an apology in written form and it would be up to Nsungama to decide whether he would want it published or not.
Okay, it was a mediation session and it was a very short one. My client has apologized and The rest, the parties will sit down to see if there will be an apology to be made public and other issues. So in short, the matter has been concluded at mediation stage.
Msungama says he was ready to forgive Jeffley, but asked politicians to refrain from using abusive language during rallies.
Apology is genuine, and like I said, I'm a Christian. I ascribe to, Christian principles. I'm a born again. So who am I not to forgive? But all I wanted is to set precedence, to tell the nation that this kind of politics in this modern Malawi will not work. And we want issue-based campaign.
Justice William Msisya has since granted the two parties an out-of-court settlement order and to report back once it is finalized.
Now, Minister of Agriculture Lobin Lowe on Monday suspended the tobacco market at Kanengo in Lilongwe due to low prices. The minister visited the floors where he learned that tobacco was being bought at as low as 50 cents, below the set minimum price of 90 cents per kilogram, which the minister describes as inhumane. The minister paid a surprise visit where he also learned that the rejection rate has gone up. Lowe says there is a need to review the law to come up with a mandate minimum price.
I had some information that the rejection rate has also gone up, and to farmers it seems it's a deliberate move to make sure that there is pressure towards the closing date, which is Friday. And according to Auction and Tobacco Commission, they had to deliberately organize a merit sale. A merit sale could involve tobacco that has been rejected for 3 times, recycled for 3 times, and it was supposed to be returned to farmers. But buyers are allowed to buy. Unfortunately, they are buying below the minimum price, which is 90 cents per kilogram. If you consider the production cost, it's around 145 cents per kilogram. And the minimum, if it comes to 90, a farmer is a little bit better. But going down to 50, this is inhuman.
And AHL Tobacco Sales General Manager Graham Gunimba says there has been consistency in the prices, but admitted that the prices had dropped.
Now is when we started observing that prices have been slightly going down. I think for quite a good number of weeks we're averaging nationally all tobacco types $1.64. But now this is the final week number 19. We are currently $1.60. So you've noted that there's a drop by 4 cents, which is a concern. Everyone else was hoping that it would be going up from $1.64 up $1.65, but that's not the case now. So it's a challenge. In terms of rejections, we were also having some bad experience this season.
Education administration is under threat of being compromised in Rumpi district following an inferno that gutted down the Rumpi district education office. According to Rumpi district education manager Dem McFine Zumara, the fire destroyed important documents including financial reports, teacher promotion letters, inspection and supervision records, and computers, among other essentials. And as Sam Kalmira reports, an assessment of the cause of the inferno and the extent of the damage is underway.
Mzumara said they have not yet found out the cause of the fire, but said some officials suspect it was an electrical fault. He said the whole building was engulfed by fire that started from one of the rooms. The office of the district commissioner is yet to secure a structure for the DEM's office for temporary use.
We also have the payroll information for the teachers, and that is also gone. But maybe that can be retrieved through other means. But that which we had at the office, it means it is gone. We come to the accounts office where we had all the financial information files containing information for the previous years and the current year, except for those that were transferred to headquarters. I mean to the office of the Director of Administration. But it means the rest of the information is gone.
Meanwhile, Rompi Police Deputy Public Relations Officer Tupeliwe Kawiro said they are conducting an assessment to find out extent of damage and cause of the fire. Kawiro said their officers rushed to the scene but could not contain the fire because it had already spread out to the entire building. Rompi District Council has no fire engine and relies on the one from Mzuzu City Council, which is made available on request.
For over a month now, some vendors plying their trade at Gender Market in Mzimba District have not been paying their market fees in protest against the council's decision to dissolve the market committee. According to Mzimba District Council Chairperson Yolanda Ngwira, the committee was dissolved prematurely over allegations of corruption bordering on creation of fake receipt books, among others, defrauding the council of huge sums of money. Feston Malekezo reports.
The dissolved committee was ushered into office on November 2, 2020 and was supposed to hold the office for 2 years, only to be written on July 28, 2021 that the committee had been dissolved. Mberwa District Council then called for fresh elections, which took place on July 30, 2021, where a new committee was given mandate to run the affairs of the market. But as events unfolded, the dissolved group consulted their lawyer, who wrote Mberwa District Council a letter on August 3, 2021, demanding it to reinstate them and pay them damages for unlawfully dissolving the committee. In the letter, the vendors argued that the elections that were held on July 30 were unlawful, as both the contestants and the electorate do not ply their trade in Gender Main Market. The council was given 7 days to respond to the demands, threatening that the matter would be taken to court. In an interview on Tuesday, Council Chairperson Yolanda Ngwira, who spearheaded the elections of the new committee, said she is also waiting for the council's secretariat to give her direction on how to proceed with the matter. District Commissioner Emmanuel Bambe was not available for a comment when contacted on Tuesday. Meanwhile, lawyer for the complainants Evans Mbotwa of Eva and Eva Lawyers said the parties have so far agreed to hold talks over the matter. On a market day, the council could collect more than 1 million kwacha in market fees and other taxes, according to some council officials.
You're watching the news on Times TV. We'll be back with more shortly.
Build big, build quality.
Hi, little one. What seems to be the matter? I know just what you need. Me! I'm Classic Milk, your instant milk powder. Perfect for breakfast, tea time, or evening time. Whether you're working hard in the office or just relaxing at home. And I'm suitable for tea, coffee, or an instant milk drink for kids just like you. Yes! That's exactly how I make you feel.
Classic instant milk from Rab Processors. Full cream milk powder for the whole family.
Mona malawa anzanga. Nkhondo yogonjetsa COVID-19 ndiye wina aliyense. Tili limodzi. Ine ndinasankha kulandira katemera wa COVID-19 atangoyamba kuperekedwa. Chifukwa monga na mwino, moyo wanga, umoyo wa odwala amene ndimawasamalira, abale anga, ndi dera langa, ndi zinthu zomwe ndimazika pa mtima panga kwambiri. Katemera wa COVID-19 anditeteza ine ndi ena omwe analandira katemerayo ku chiopsezo choti tingadwale mwakayakaya, kugonekedwa mchipatala, kapena kutaya moyo wathu chifukwa cha COVID-19. Kulandira katemerayo kutithandiza kuthana ndi mliri wa COVID-19 limodzi.
Ziwani zambiri za katemerayo ndi kupanga chisankho cha nzeru. Sankhani katemera, tetezani tsogolo.
Welcome back. Malawians are expected to find it easier to sell and purchase different goods online through National Bank. This comes as the bank has launched an online product which seeks to make it easier for Malawians to conduct international business. Gary Samati has the details.
National Bank of Malawi has launched an online product that will allow customers to make business transactions through the internet. According to the bank's head of digital financial services, William Kaunda, the product is secure for customers to use.
This payment gateway is introduced to assist our merchants and any other customer who would want to add to their current offerings that they are physically offering to customers, and that they would and when they would want to do that over the internet. So what the gateway does is that it does plug into their website or even their app, and when customers visit and they are interested to buy an item, all they do is enter the card details on their web page, and then payment is done instantly. So you don't need to attach your card to any other wallet, but all you need to do is just punch in the card details on the website of the product that you want to buy. So it's a straightforward and easy product that our merchants and anyone who would want to trade online can have.
The product is targeting Malawians that offer international services for them to easily get money from customers living outside Malawi.
The country's chicken vendors have formed an association aimed at positioning traders to take advantage of the opportunities created by government in the poultry business. Recently, Minister of Trade Sosten Gwengwe announced a number of measures aimed at preserving the business of selling chickens at a retail level to ordinary Malawians as one way of empowering them. Speaking during the launch of the association, advisor of the grouping Rejoice Jafari said time has come for chicken retailers to take advantage of the opportunities created by government. Jafari explains.
We have so many challenges that we have been faced to this business, especially to these big companies. You know, we have small capitals, we are small. So these companies interrupt us, especially in our areas. So this has become our challenges to this business.
And in international news, the Somali government reopened schools this month despite a new wave of coronavirus infections. As Mohammed Sheikh Noor reports from Mogadishu, there are concerns about whether measures to prevent the virus from spreading in classrooms and beyond will be sufficient.
Early morning in a Mogadishu school, and students arrive to prepare for the day's activities. None of the students are wearing masks as they mingle, even though the country is experiencing a new wave of COVID-19 infections. Khadija Adam is the principal responsible for the day-to-day running of the institution. She has a daunting task ahead, trying to keep her students safe while in school.
We keep reminding our students about good sanitation. The students understand that they must wash hands. We lobbied the Ministry of Education and they have supported us with hand-washing facilities. We normally instill in students that it is compulsory to sanitize their hands and wear masks, as this will enable schools to remain open.
In Somalia, uptake for COVID-19 vaccines remains low. The most vulnerable are the elderly, and there is fear school reopening might increase infections among the students who will ultimately expose their families. Abdifatah Muhyiddin is a student at the school and fears for his older relatives.
I am really worried about the coronavirus as it has returned and reached its peak. I am concerned about the health of my family since school has reopened, and I might get infected in school and take the virus back to my family.
The prolonged closure of schools due to the pandemic had a negative impact on the lives of young Somalis. There was a significant increase in school dropouts, and this disrupted the social and economic well-being of families. Abdifatah Mahmoud is a trader in Mogadishu, and after a hard day's work, finds time in the evening to mentor his two teenage daughters, hoping they will catch up on lost time.
The long lockdown negatively impacted education. Some girls disappointed with education got married and started families. Boys who dropped out became either touts on passenger vehicles or migrated to other places. The length of the lockdown really affected education.
Mohammed Abi, Director General of Somalia's Ministry of Education, acknowledges the hardships.
One of the principal side effects of the coronavirus on education is that even the few students who showed resilience to continuing with education performed poorly during exams. Performance was below average, unlike any other time in the past. The quality of education went down, and some schools had to close down.
When it announced the reopening of schools, Somalia's Ministry of Education promised preventive measures were in place to ensure learning returns to normal. Students are required to wear face masks and maintain social distancing, among other measures. However, not all of these preventive measures are being followed, as seen in the Mogadishu school. Mohammed Sheikh Noor for VOA News, Mogadishu, Somalia.
And that's the news, and now the headlines again. President Lazarus Chakwera, who is the chairperson of SADC, says Africa is not free for scramble. The Public Affairs Committee to meet President Lazarus Chakwera over governance issues. And drama ensued at the High Court as DPP Secretary General Griselda Jeffrey wept in a defamation case. Remember, you can get more on these and other stories by visiting our website www.times.mw, liking our Facebook page Times 360 Malawi, and following us on Twitter at Times 360 Malawi. Now remember to wash your hands regularly, observe social and physical distance, and mask up. Please stay safe. You've been with me, Elita Soko.